No gunshots, but they getting low, 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 low.
YouTube, what is going on, everybody? It's EavesDrop, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that you will already know basically what the subject is, because it is in the title and I know you guys are spectacular at reading. The thing I want to talk about today is the fact that I sold my Xbox One, and I want to explain to you guys why and what my reasoning behind selling my Xbox One was. First of all, I want to apologize. I know a lot of you wanted to play Black Ops 3 with me or wanted to play on Xbox One, and I won't be able to do that now because I no longer own an Xbox One. And like I said, I'm going to tell you the reasons for that right now. Before we get into it, if you guys could drop a like down below, it'd be much appreciated. If we could get like 30 likes, that'd be absolutely insane, and I would love that from all of you guys. But with that, let's get into this video. So there was a decent list of reasons why I got rid of my Xbox One, and I actually have them over here on a Word document, but we're going to go through them. So the first one on there is controller, but I would say that's not the number one. So I really dislike the Xbox One controller. Now, I still have one because if you guys watch my room tour setup video or whatever I called that video, you know that I won an Xbox One controller as a prize. So I still have that one. So I still kind of hold it from time to time, and I'm like, do I really hate this controller? Do I really not like it? And I really don't. So here's the reasoning behind why I don't like the controller. Disclaimer before people go off of me, I have not used the new Bluetooth controller. I have not used the newest edition of the Xbox One controller. I'm only going off of what I know, which is the old one, the original one that came with the system. So that one included, one of the biggest reasons I didn't like it was the Xbox wireless, which I think was some sort of Wi-Fi, which is what they were using to send the signal from the Xbox to the controller. Now that provided a shit ton of lag from the controller to the console. So there was a lot of input lag that happened. Now I felt it a lot, and I know it wasn't a cause of something else because A, on my PS4 I don't feel it, and B, everything that I own is completely lagless. I play with wired headphones. I play with a 1 ms response time monitor, as well as it's been rated at like 10 ms, which is like as low as it can go for total display lag. And so everything I play with is completely lag free except for the wireless on the PS4 controller, which I will get to in a second. So the wireless on there, the system is absolutely flawed, and a lot of you guys are probably thinking, okay, why don't you just wire it? Well, what would happen was every time I would wire it, all of the controllers that I own for the Xbox One, when I would wire it, it would randomly disconnect, but it wouldn't show. The light on the controller would still stay on, the Xbox light would still be lit, but I wouldn't be able to hit any buttons. None of the buttons would work. So what I would have to do is I'd have to unplug it in, wait a couple seconds, and then replug it back in. That was extremely annoying, and also sometimes the cord would fall out. I don't know whether that was a problem with just one of the controllers I had or not. So I either had to deal with this lag and then have my controller be able to stay on always, or deal with my controller randomly just stop working, and it could do it in the middle of a game. It could do it, you know, whenever. So that was really annoying. That was the first gripe about the controller. Now the second thing I didn't like about the controller, all the buttons were fine, the triggers are fine, whatever, but the sticks, I really hate the sticks. Here is my Xbox 360 Scuff. So this is the Scuff Hybrid. I love this controller, and one of the things that they did, which I don't know why they did with the Xbox One controller, was they specifically stated that they made these sticks, the 366, 25% looser. Now their claim for that was they were trying to make it better for like faster reactions, or they said for competitive gamers. But if you guys didn't know, a lot of competitive gamers play on Call of Duty in Black Ops 3. Competitive players play from like the 4 to 6 range on sensitivity. Generally, there are some people that play on higher sensitivities, and that's just because, you know, they're able to handle that somehow. But most players play on a really low sensitivity, and the reason being for that is because it provides you a greater control. If you are whipping around way too fast, you can't finely tune your aim. You can't aim in on somebody as fine. You're going to be wiping across, over aiming, under aiming, etc. So what would happen with these sticks, not these ones, but the ones on Xbox One, was that because they were so loose, I would find myself over aiming so much, and it seemed like there was a larger dead zone than other controllers I've used, and I think that might have just been because the sticks are so loose. It just felt sloppy. Like playing the game just completely felt sloppy. I was over aiming. Like it felt like my character was like drunk or something. Like no matter how hard I would try to aim, I would put my sensitivity down really low, but the stick being loose really just screwed with me, because I'm used to these sticks and I'm used to these sticks. Now, I believe some people have hand tested them themselves, and they say these ones are almost the same stick tightness as these. So that's probably why I like them so much. But a tighter stick equals more control. Now, of course, a stick that is too stiff would mean you're not able to move it across. The number 2 reason I have on here is Black Ops 3. Now, I have a bunch of friends that played on Xbox that wanted to play Black Ops 3. So I went ahead and I picked up the game for, I think I got it for like $30 or $40, which was not bad considering it was only like 2 months old at the time. But I went went ahead, I put it in, and off the bat, I noticed something was different. It's not just the graphics on the console. And again, I don't know if the Xbox One S has fixed this or if the new controller has fixed the old controller problems or not. But the Xbox One that I had, the Black Ops 3 does not run well at all on the Xbox One. If you play on Xbox One and you have not played the game on PS4, that being at the beginning, it's getting a little bigger. YouTubers like Drifter and some other people have said they've been noticing some lag starting on PS4 and frame dropping. That was the biggest thing. There is so many frame drops on Xbox One and Black Ops 3 on Xbox One because that game is made for the PS4 and it is ported over to the Xbox 3 or the Xbox One. It's really ported over to the 360, the PS3. You guys know how it looks on that. But the game is made for the PS4, so it's made to run on the PS4, and then they got to do little tiny changes to it to make it run on the Xbox One. But since it's made for the PS4, it will always run better. I'm not just talking about graphics, 720p or 900p versus 1080p or whatever it runs at. I'm talking about frame drops, the frame rate of the game, how the textures load and stuff like that will always be better on whatever system it's made for. If it's made on PC and ported to console, it's going to run better on PC. This game was made for the PS4 because PlayStation got those rights and then ported over to the Xbox One and the PC. Now that same thing would probably happen before where when the Xbox One and Xbox 360 were the main systems for Call of Duty, they would port it over to the PlayStation. I think I heard about one time where like it was Black Ops 1 or something where on the PS3 it told you to like press like the Y or the B button, which obviously that's not an option on PlayStation. So they're ported over. So the game didn't run smoothly at all and I just absolutely hated it. We were playing UMGs and game battles matches. If you don't know what that is, it's like competitive 3v3, 4v4, 2v2s, or you can do 1v1s. And so it's high stakes. I mean, there were free matches, but it's competitive. So you get more frustrated than a public match. But what would happen was my aim would just be so sloppy, not because I can't aim. On PS4, I think my aim is fairly decent, but because the sticks were just so loose, I felt so sloppy and I just could not play on the console, as well as the frame rate drop, as well as I either had to play wired and hope it didn't turn off on me, or I had to play wireless and then have an extra added lag from the wireless, which was not Bluetooth, which I don't know why they didn't use Bluetooth in the first place. Now that issue is probably fixed on the Xbox One S controller because they finally used Bluetooth, which is what this uses. Now Bluetooth does have its own set of problems that they have fixed in the newer version of the PS4 controller. The third thing is, and this is the absolute biggest one out of all four of these, there's a fourth one after this one, but we'll get to it, is Microsoft announced what they called, they called it like the Play Anywhere program, where basically if you buy a game on the Xbox One, you can also play it on the PC and vice versa. So when I heard that, I heard, okay, so basically the reason I bought the Xbox One was honestly pretty much just for Halo, because I've played Halo since Halo 3. I played a little bit of like Halo 2 with my friends, but I had never like played the campaign or anything. I wasn't really into the game. But Halo 3 was my shit. I played Halo 3 so much, and I've always loved the campaign. I've always loved playing through the campaign of those games as well as the multiplayer. So that's why, honestly, that's the reason I got the Xbox One, was because of the exclusivity of the games. And that's why anyone would get a PlayStation or an Xbox or a Nintendo platform. If you want to play Zelda, if you want to play Mario, you can't get those on PC. You can't get them on PlayStation. You can't get them on Xbox. You have to buy a Nintendo platform. And that's the same reason I was buying the Xbox. Now, I have a pretty beast gaming PC right here. It's a little bit unbeast now that they came out with new graphics cards, but it has a GTX 970 in it. And the GTX 970 can run games in 1080p, and I get at least like 75 frames per second. Sometimes I get up to like 120, and this is like ultra settings, like everything maxed out except for anti-aliasing, which I set on like just the one above the lowest. But I can get like CSGO, I get like 400 frames a second. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, this is going to run better than the Xbox One no matter what. So the reason I had the Xbox One was to play those exclusive games. So basically what Microsoft told me was, you no longer need this Xbox One because we are going to make it so you can play all of the games that were exclusive to the Xbox One. You can now play them on your better PC. I now had no reason to own an Xbox One, and that was the absolute biggest thing. I was contemplating selling the Xbox because I was just frustrated with the controller and whatever, but I can get over that. You know, you can get more used to the controller. But the biggest thing was, now that the exclusives are gone, there is absolutely no reason for me to own this console, and that's why I ultimately sold it. That is also why I bought an Xbox 360. I can play every Halo game up until the most recent one, Halo 5. If the next Halo comes out on PC, which it sounds like it will due to the Play Anywhere program, the only Halo I can't play is Halo 5. Beside that, every other Halo is on Xbox 360, which I have. And I have all the other Halos on Xbox 360. And if Halo 6 6 or whatever they call the next one comes out on the PC, then I can play that on the PC. So I'm only missing out on one Halo, which I've already played. I played it completely through the first night it came out. I now have an Xbox 360. I now have this Xbox 360 SCUF, which I can plug directly into my PC as well. And that's another thing. I had the Xbox One controller, which I could just plug in via USB cord to the PC, but I decided, you know, why don't I just get an Xbox 360? I can play old Call of Duty games for you guys on my channel, as well as I can buy a SCUF like this that I can plug into my Xbox. I can plug it into the PC, and I can use it both on the PC and the Xbox 360. So that's what I did. I went out and I sold my Xbox One. I sold my Xbox Infinity SCUF that I unboxed. It was like my second video if you guys have seen it. I sold everything on my Xbox One, and I didn't make any money, but I got money. I was able to buy a lot of the things you see here. I know there was a few people asking me, because I've been unboxing a lot of stuff on the channel, like, where did you get all the money to do this? Like, what is your job? What are you doing? We know you're in college. How do you have the money to buy this? Part of that, or a lot of that, is because I sold everything that I had on the Xbox One. I sold the Xbox One. I sold all the games. I sold all the controllers except for the one I won as a trophy. I sold my SCUF for Xbox One, the SCUF Infinity one, which, beside the loose sticks, which is not SCUF's fault at all, I absolutely love that controller. It made the experience better, but it just didn't do it for me, especially since all the exclusive games that I wanted were now going to the PC. I know I keep pointing over here, but my PC is right here. I hope you guys can hear that, but it's right there. It's working hard because I'm recording this video. But one last thing, the reason I sold my Xbox One at the time I did was because on August 2nd, I believe, the Xbox One S came out. Now, I sold my Xbox One back in July, like middle of July. And the reason I wanted to do that, the reason this really was the cherry on top of the other 3 reasons, was if I wait until this console comes out and then at a later time I decide, okay, I don't really want this anymore, I want to sell it, my Xbox One that I had, I guarantee you, dropped tremendously in value from where it would have been like right now to where it was in July. I don't know what they're going for right now on eBay or whatever, but once a new console comes out, once a new phone comes out, I have a Galaxy S7. When the Galaxy S6 was out and this came out, I guarantee you, people that had a Galaxy S6, if they were looking to sell it, the value went and it dropped. That's just how technology works. That's how cars work. That's how everything in this world works, because we come out with new stuff every single year. The value of the old drops. The value of the new is the new standard. So I was like, okay, this threw me over the edge. I was just like, yep, the new one's coming out. It's time to sell now. Now is the time to sell. And for some reason, I want to pick one up again. For some reason, I decide, hey, you know, I want to get the Xbox One back. I liked, I don't know, another feature, or they go back on this Play Anywhere program and they only put Halo on the console, or they only put some other game on the console and I really want to play it. I can still go out and buy that Xbox One S, but for right now, I really don't need it. And also, I wasn't really playing it to begin with. All I would do was I had it hooked up to the TV and I would watch like Hulu on it. I would watch South Park on it because South Park is exclusive to Hulu. But that's all I was really doing on my Xbox One. And I would just play Black Ops 3 sometimes, and I hated doing it because the frame rate was all kind of weird. And that's not Black Ops 3's fault. That's just because it's a ported over game and Microsoft didn't get the exclusivity this time. They may in the future. Maybe I'll do it then, because maybe it'll run worse on the PS4 and maybe it'll run better on the Xbox One if the Xbox gets their exclusivity back. I don't know. But for now, I have no Xbox One. I have an Xbox 360, which I am wholeheartedly, absolutely loving. I got a Slim. I have my Astros hooked up to it. I got all the old Call of Duties, and I love it. I am wholeheartedly happy. I have not missed my Xbox One even once. I do not miss it at all. Now, this video is not at all to hate on anyone that owns an Xbox One. I understand that not everyone likes this controller. Some people hate this controller. Some people love the sticks or the layout of the Xbox One, but I really prefer this controller. I even prefer the Xbox 360 controller. I prefer pretty much everything about it, and I prefer what I get with the PS4 and with my PC. And just to wrap it all up, it basically came down to the third thing that I said, was just if there's no exclusive games for this any longer, there's absolutely no need to get it. That is pretty much it. Not to bash on Microsoft or not to bash on anyone that owns an Xbox One. I understand some people like their Xbox One, some people like their PS4, some people like PC, some people think we all suck and their Wii U's are just infinitely better than all of our consoles and our PCs, because let's face it, you can't get Zelda, you can't get Pokemon, you can't get Mario anywhere else, and those are some pretty awesome games. So if all you care about is exclusives, those people, you know, they know what they're doing. So I hope you guys all really did enjoy the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. If we can hit 30 likes, that'd be absolutely insane. I would really appreciate that. If you guys are new, make sure to drop a nuke down on the subscribe button to become part of the EavesDrop army. Become an eavesdropper today. And if you are already an eavesdropper, make sure to turn on my notifications so you know as soon as my videos go live. Also, if you guys could share this video on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you do your sharing. If you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, and this is especially important in this video because it is such a long video. Make sure to comment down below the word brownies to let me know you guys made it all the way to the end of the video. That'd just be awesome. And with that, I want to thank you guys all again for watching. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, I have been EavesDrop, and I'm out.